Hey guys, welcome back to Ask Snes. Okay, brand new episode, here we go. You may notice, a bit empty. Yeah, everything's been stripped out, so having a bit of a refurb, redecorating the whole game room, starting from scratch. So you might see the walls, I don't know, but I'm in the process of filling holes in walls and sanding it down and replastering and shit like that, and then get it repainted, get everything back to normal. Then I just get some furniture for the TVs and all the consoles, and then yeah, we're all good then. I can put it all back again. So at the moment it's a work in progress, so we'll see how it turns out. Right, so we've got a couple of questions to answer. So thank you to everybody who's put a question in for this week. First questions are from blobslime29, who asks, first question is, do you think trophies and achievements have somewhat spoiled the enjoyment of games of the last gen and the current gen consoles? It depends if you actually care about trophies and achievements. I personally don't. I honestly forget about them most of the time. I don't really pay attention unless I'm playing a game and it happens to beep and I have a look just to see what it is. But I've never been someone who's looked at what the achievements or trophies are for a game and have hunted through them to try and get platinums and things like that. I'm not that kind of gamer, and to me I've always found them kind of pointless. It's nice to see them and you get like 50 headshots, it's like great, yeah, but I really don't care for them, so I'm not the best person to really comment, to be honest, mate. I don't really see a problem with them. It's people like to do that. It gives you a target and it gets you more out of the game. So in a way, they're a good thing because you're getting more value for your cash. So yeah, I don't think they're a bad thing really. I don't think they're spoilt it in my opinion. But then I just go hunting for them. So yeah. Question number 2. Do you enjoy trophies and achievements in games, or do you prefer it when they didn't exist? Oh, there you go. I've pretty much answered my question. It makes no difference to me if they exist or not, because I don't take any notice of them. Right, next questions are from Super Nintendo Dude. Okay. Right, so question number 1. One of my favourite kind of game-related videos to watch are out and about collecting, like the NES Punks, Flea Market Madness and the Game Chasers. Have you ever thought about doing any similar video on trips to car boots and shops? I have thought about doing videos on car boots in the past. To be honest, they're a bit dry at the moment. Because people are cutting on to pricing and using eBay and everything. You don't really see that much in my local car boot anymore. About a year, 2 years, last couple of years you've been pretty good. There was a few nice things coming up, but these days it isn't that easy to find a bargain. And as for most of the stuff that I buy is imported anyway, there's not much point we really having a look. It would purely just be buy to sell, not buy to actually collect. As far as shops and that, yeah, there is a video on my channel for the local retro shop downtown called MT Games. So search for MT Games SNES-tastic and you'll find that. In fact, I'm pretty certain that when you search for SNES-tastic on YouTube, it's one of the first videos that pops up anyway. Right, question number 2. Did you ever manage to get into Super Metroid? I'm still trying. At the moment, obviously the way the room is, I haven't had a chance to do any more gaming. The retro's on the back burner for the time being. But yeah, I was really liking it. It's not an easy game for me to get into because I'm not into that kind of game you have to explore. I don't know, my mind just doesn't work that way, but I must admit I was really enjoying it, and I did get to a boss and I couldn't work out what to do. So I figured you've just got to keep wandering around and try and find things. But yeah, so far so good. So once my game moves back up and that, I'll probably just crack back on and give it another shot because I really liked it. It was a brilliant soundtrack, really nice, and yeah. Question number 3, have you got any favourite Super Famicom exclusives? I don't know too much about the Famicom exclusive, to be honest. I've only played a certain amount over the years. Some of the ones that I like personally, I mean, Undercover Cops is one that I really want, because I've never had the chance to play that. And I love the arcade game. I played it on MAME and thought it was fantastic, so I've always wanted that for the Super Famicom. There's obviously Pop and Twinbee and the Proteus series, which are just absolutely brilliant shooters. I love those. They're not technically Super Famicom exclusive because you can get them in PAL regions, but as I'm an American collector, they're not exclusive. They are exclusive because I can't get them in America. And yeah, Sandra's Big Adventure, which I've got, which is a really cool little platform with like a little jelly baby dude. I really like that game a lot. And what else is there? Let me see. I'm trying to think of that game that Craig is here again told me about ages ago. The name's escaping me. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up, which is a Japanese exclusive and extremely expensive. Oh, I can see the picture. can see the label, but I can't think what the game's called. If I remember, I'll put it somewhere in the description. But yeah, it's a really cool game. But those are some of the ones that I really like anyway. I mean, there's absolutely tons that I've not played, like the proper Japanese games, like the, what do you call it? Oh, Jesus Christ. Brain gone blank. Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking there's a scrolling beat 'em up with a female, and I can't think what she's called. Like an anime character. Oh, that's really annoying. I don't know, it'll come back to me. I hate when that happens. Your brain just blanks for no reason. Okay, question number 4. If you could choose any 80s film to have an 8 or 16-bit game based on them that doesn't already exist, what film would you choose and why? Jesus Christ, trying to think of one that hasn't been done. Commando's got one, Back to the Future's got one, Judge Dredd got a film in it, Demolition Man got one, Total Recall did get games code on the Commodore, True Lies got a game, Batman got a game which was brilliant. Jesus Christ, 80s and 90s, that's really tough, mate. That's a really hard question. I'm just trying to go through all the films in my head at the moment. That's a tough one. Yeah, because even Turtles got games, didn't they? So Jesus Christ. I mean, they tried to do a Steven Seagal game on the Super Nintendo, which got canned, and it's absolutely god awful. I mean, anything with Seagal and Van Damme should have been really quite easy to do. That would have been good. That would have. Yeah, and that's really hard. I don't know. You've stumped me there, mate. I'm not too sure. 80s and 90s. But I'll come back to that in a minute because I can't think. Next question is, what retro games that aren't particularly rare or expensive do you really want but haven't got yet? The main ones are Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3. They're fairly easy to pick up, but price-wise, they are starting to rise now, and I should have got them when they were cheap instead of putting off getting them. Those definitely, I want to get those, put those in the collection because they're just absolutely brilliant. Other than that, I'm just trying to think. I mean, there's other consoles. There's like all the Mega Drive stuff I need to get, but that's all fairly cheap anyway. PlayStation 1, there's a game called In the Hunt, which I really want the long box version from America. I just can't get one in good shape. I mean, there was a time not long ago where they didn't seem to get sold at all. In the last month or so, they seem to be coming up pretty regular, but they're all either beaten up or they're missing the manual. So I definitely want to get that. I want to keep my eye out for that one. I'm still stuck on that bloody question about the films though. That's really hard. Jesus. I mean, it's hard to go back that far as well. I mean, it's just 80s, not 80s and 90s. I don't know where I got that from. God, that is so tough. I mean, even if you look at Van Damme, you got like Bloodsport and Kickboxer, and they're pretty standard martial arts games. They would be. They wouldn't be too particularly interesting. Did the Running Man ever get a game? You know, I can't remember if the Running Man ever got a game. I mean, technically, Smash TV's the Running Man. But yeah, that would be quite good actually if they did a proper Running Man game. Because I know Red Heat got one. It's on the Amiga and it's bloody awful. I think most of Arnold's films got games, so the Running Man must have got a game at some point. I just don't remember one, so that's a bit weird. Yeah, I'll go with that. That's really hard, mate. I'm sorry about that. That's a tough question. Okay. Right, okay, so next question is from 16-bit Jay. You alright, Jay? Okay, so Jay asks, do you have a fear for gaming, the gaming industry? For instance, mine is that I'm afraid one day we'll lose the control pad. The only fear I've got is digital. I think I made it pretty clear in my time on YouTube, I'm not a fan of digital gaming at all. I just do not see the point in it whatsoever. And I'll never be convinced. Every time I say it on a video, people try and convince me, but I'm never going to be convinced. I don't see the point in digital gaming at all. It serves no purpose to me. I don't even consider it. I don't think about it. I never look at what's available. It's just not on my radar at all. And there's so many downsides to digital gaming that I can't see any point in doing it. As far as, like you say, with controllers and things, The only thing you can really say is if VR actually takes off, that's still going to have some kind of control method, unless they can get gesture controls in the future if it really does do well. Because I'm hoping that VR is going to take off, just purely because I've always wanted to have the holodeck from Star Trek, and that's probably the closest we're ever going to get to having a holodeck experience. So that would be absolutely awesome. But it's not, yeah, fear-wise, I don't really, it's only digital. That's the only thing that bothers me, and I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that they're going to do the music in film route and keep both physical and digital. But it does look like they're just going to go purely digital next generation after this PS4, Xbox One gen, which is, yeah, that's really crap. And I will definitely not bother. I love my games, but quite honestly, as much as I love gaming, I ain't buying a console that you have to download everything to. The infrastructure's crap anyway, so it's not worth it. Plus, there's just no purpose in doing it, and there's just too many negatives, so it's not for me. Okay. Just reading the comment from Ben there. Right, okay. Right, next questions are from PS1 fan. Hello. First question, he asks, what's the worst service you've had with a courier service? I've never really had really bad service. Generally, it's just little things like they leave things on your doorstep instead of leaving a note, or they leave them behind the bin, which annoys the hell out of me and they get drowned. I remember once years ago I lived in Birmingham. Where I was living, it was a pain in the arse to have parcels delivered to. And DHL delivered a parcel, I think it was an imported parcel from the US. And they left me a card, but unfortunately the DHL courier depot was like outside of Birmingham. I can't remember what the name of the place where it was. It was basically the complete opposite side of the city to where I lived. And I didn't have a car, I didn't drive, and there was no way I could get over there. And I couldn't get it rearranged for delivery because they wouldn't do weekends. And I was like, oh, this is bullshit, what am I going to do? I mean, luckily in the end, my neighbour was kind enough to, waiting for the parcel for me, but that did my head in. But yeah, generally I don't really have major issues. As I say, it's just little things like leaving them on your doorstep and not taking them back and leaving a card so you can arrange for your delivery or collection, or just chucking it behind your bin, putting the card through the door and then it rains and it gets soaked, which I had with an Amazon package once. Pain in the arse. Next question, thoughts on collector's editions? Yeah, it's the collector's edition thing seems to be a two-tiered thing. You've got the bullshit one where they put a game out and on launch day they have the standard game in a case and it just says collector's edition, and you maybe get like some downloadable content or maps or some crap, and that's not a collector's edition. Whereas you get the proper ones, which I would consider a collector's edition, where you get the big boxes and you get the statues and the art books and all that kind of thing, which I think they're absolutely fantastic. The only thing that's ever put me off them is the price. They're just so expensive and I can't afford to go that high on launch. But yeah, some of them do impress me. The Max Payne 3 one, I really like that because the Max Payne figure, I've seen it on a few videos now, it looks really cool. And I must admit, I'm surprised I've not got into picking that up actually, because that is really nice. The Gears of War, I can't remember if was it Gears of War 3? I can't remember, that massive statue. That was really nice. And some of them are crap. They put like cheap statues in, or they just don't really make much of an effort. But occasionally you will get one that just have absolutely amazing collector's editions. The Call of Duty ones were pretty good with the remote control car and the night vision goggles. Yeah, nice to see a bit of effort put in. But yeah, some of them, they're just pretty crappy. If it's digital content now, what is the point? I like them when they've got a statue and they've got an art book or they've got a music CD, a soundtrack CD. All that kind of stuff is absolutely brilliant. But yeah, overall I think collector's editions are great, and if you've got the money, go for it. Next question, and do you have a favourite video game voice actor, if you know any? I do actually, so there you go. I'm going to be pretty obvious, and my favourites are going to be Nolan North and Troy Baker. Not exactly like, stretching my imagination there, because I think most people know who they are and what they've done, and they are absolutely fantastic. Everything they do, Troy Baker is just phenomenal. I mean, Nolan North's a great actor, and what he's done with Nathan Drake is unsurpassed. But Troy Baker, his diversity, the roles he's done and the quality of his roles. Because Nolan North did the voice in Spec Ops: The Line, and while he started out well at the beginning of the game, I felt like he lost interest halfway through and he was taking the piss a bit. It just got really comical near the end of the game, and I was just like, oh, this is terrible. But those are my two favourites. Honourable mention would be Emily Rose, who played Elena in Uncharted, because she's just her and Nolan North together, you know, and also is it Richard McGonagall, I think that's his name, who plays Sully. Just the three of them together, that chemistry is just fantastic. I love watching the behind the scenes. It's just so funny to watch them with the balls on their faces and the suits, and they got like, you know, cardboard tubes and things for shotguns, and it's just absolutely the ability to just completely immerse themselves in the environment and forget where they are and what they're doing, and to just believe in the story, you know, and to imagine that environment that they're supposed to be in. I find that absolutely fascinating that someone can do that. It blows my mind. But yeah, those are my favourites anyway. Okay, next questions are from Muzz247365. Hello. Question number 1. Will 2014 be a disappointing year for games, with so many slipping to 2015? I think you could be right, mate. It's a good question. It does seem to be that all the good stuff is out next year, which makes you wonder why, because the new consoles came out at the end of last year. There should have been more games this year. But, you know, it's a new cycle. This happens, unfortunately. 2015 is going to be a much better year. It's just a real shame there isn't a lot this year. Sunset Overdrive is coming out this year, so that's brilliant. Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, Christ, is coming out for Wii U this year, which I love that game. It looks fantastic, and hopefully I can get a Wii U before then. I don't know if I will be able to, but if I can, that would be awesome, because that game just looks so good. But yeah, I mean, there's a few games. There's enough to keep us tiding over, enough, you know, exclusives and cross-platform, so it's not too bad. But yeah, obviously 2015 is the big push when all the next-gen stuff really starts coming out and really, you know, showing us what we can expect from these machines. You know, I mean, obviously it's going to take a couple of years before we really see what they're capable of. But I've been impressed so far. I'm quite impressed with what they do, and you know, I hear all this stuff about, oh, they're not much of a step up from the last gen, or they're not a step up at all. To me, they are. Visually, I can definitely see a difference. I'm quite impressed actually with what I've seen so far, and it's very early days. You know, as I said before, you look at Call of Duty 2 back in 19, yeah, okay? Back in 2005 on the Xbox 360, and you compare it to like Ghosts. I mean, you wouldn't believe they were on the same console. It's just ridiculous, the difference. So yeah, 5, 6, 7 years down the line, who knows what the hell PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games will look like. But yeah, next year's the big year anyway. Next question is, ever had any video gaming related dreams? Apparently he used to dream of Tetris. I don't know, to be honest. I don't remember having any dreams of video games. I might have had some about Uncharted, that wouldn't surprise me. And I'm not very good at recalling dreams, to be quite honest. I'm alright the day after, but after that, you're very lucky if I can remember any dreams. But no, not any that come to mind anyway. Question number 3. What was the last game you finished? Actually, technically the last game I finished was Tomb Raider, which was like last week, but that's my second playthrough, so it's not exactly like a new game to me. I just wanted to play through it again, and it was just absolutely fantastic. I love that game. It's brilliant. I got stomped when I first had it on PS3 in the forest where you got to sneak through, couldn't do it. And then when I got it on 360 I managed to nail it, and I can do it every time now without any problems. And the game is just brilliant. The story's brilliant. You know, the characters are really well done. The whole level design is just epic. You know, it really is a fun game, and the gunplay is just fantastic. It just never gets old for me, that doesn't. I know there's not a lot of Tomb Raider, it's more about blowing people's heads off, but I don't really have a problem with that, to be honest. Next question. Plain salt and vinegar or Monster Munch? Neither. I'll go with Doritos. I like all of them. I mean, I like all crisps or chips. I ain't fussy at all when it comes to junk food. Hence the reason I put weight on, because I eat a lot of crap, and I'm trying to cut it all out of my diet at the moment. I'm doing my best to not eat any of it. But yeah, Doritos are lethal. I'm addicted to them, and I've stopped eating them now because I was getting way too addicted and eating too many of them. Not good at all. But I got a real thing for like cool Doritos. They're amazing. And then when I was like getting a thing for barbecue Doritos, and then it was like chili heat wave, and I was like, yeah, this has really got to stop. But they are fantastic. Thank you for the questions, mate. Right, next questions are from my good friend Lee, Arcadiality. You like Lee? Lee asks, what are your shocking... That door is starting to piss me off. I should have shut it before I did this video. What are your shocking gaming revelations Mine is only recently playing Super Nintendo Donkey Kong: A Link to the Past. Jesus, like. I suppose for some people, mine would be like playing Metroid, Super Metroid. You know, to a lot of people, that's going to be a shock because it's such a highly regarded game, and I've never played it until like about a month ago. So yeah, that's probably my one, mate. To be honest with you. Other than that, I don't really think I have any. Not that I can think of at the moment. Ugh. Yeah, that's probably the big one. Because I mean, that, you know, people rave about that game, and I suppose the only other revelation is, like most people know, that I'm not an RPG gamer, and that seems to shock a lot of people that I don't like RPGs. I don't know why. Aeroplane. Yeah, so I was just keeping an eye out because we have Chinooks fly over here sometimes and they make a bloody round. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I'd say Super Metroid, mate. Question number 2. Nice one. Good question. As you're a Star Trek man, are you excited about a new Elite game? It does look gorgeous. You could don your tight Captain Kirk pants and kick some alien arse. I didn't even know there was one coming out, if I'm honest, mate. I've got no idea. I'm going to have to have a look at that. I've never played Elite as a kid. I'm aware of it. I know what kind of game it is, but I've never played it myself. So yeah, I'll have a look at that. Why not? We could do with a new Star Trek game though. I still haven't played the Star Trek game for the film. It was the first film, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it wasn't Into Darkness. I know it's supposed to be a pretty crap third-person cover shooter, but I want to pick it up and just give it a try, just purely as a Star Trek fan. You know, being able to play as Kirk and Spock, that's pretty special, man. So yeah. But no, I'll have a look at Elite. I'll see what that's all about. Alright, next questions are from my good friend Adam, Shock16. Alright, Adam? Alright, okay. So, first question. What do you want to see announced at E3 2015? Jesus. He says he's only joking. I can answer it if I want to. Right, what would I like to see announced at 2015 E3? Right, let me think. So we'll go through all the main 3, I think. Nintendo. What I want to see from Nintendo is a continuation of this year. So lots of the old franchises being revived. So I'd love to see a new F-Zero. You know, all the core Nintendo stuff. Obviously, people want a new Metroid, so I'd like to see that come up as well for people to play that. And I want to see them create new games as well. Like this year, you know, you're coming up with the Yoshi's Woolly World, and you've got Toad's Treasure Tracker. Yeah, that's what I want from Nintendo. Just keep doing what they're doing because they're really on the right track at the moment. I'm really happy with where they're going. Microsoft, more new IP. I want to see some fresh ideas. That would be really good. Just keep going with that because at the moment Phil Spencer's pushing games, and that's definitely the right way to go. I don't think they're going to do VR. I think that from what I read the other day, they seem to be holding back on that a little bit. I think they're waiting to see how the Oculus Rift and the Morpheus do. So I can't see them jumping into that one at all. I think they might do. I just think that they're going to play it safe on that one. In terms of what I would like to see them announce, what I would really like, because it was a 360 exclusive, would be a remastered version of Call of Duty 2 with loads of like behind the scenes and extras and all that kind of stuff on there as well. Because Call of Duty 2 is absolutely one of my favourite Xbox 360 games. It's just an absolutely brilliant game. I love World War 2, and that game is just nails it perfectly. The multiplayer, the single player, everything is bang on. It'd just be nice to see a beautifully remastered version on the Xbox One, because obviously you look at the 360 version now and it's quite barren in its level design. There isn't a lot there at all. And you know, compare it to like Call of Duty Ghosts, and it's like night and day. So I would love to see that. That would be brilliant. In terms of anything else, I'm trying to think like original Xbox stuff that could do with a sequel. That's really hard, like exclusive way anyway, exclusive Xbox games that could be sequel. I mean, there's Brute Force, which I really like that game a lot. Apparently a lot of people don't like it from what I read online, but I personally thought it was a pretty decent third-person game. It'd be nice to see that come back and try and, you know, revamp it and, yeah, update it. Sony, I mean, Sony can do no wrong really, so to be honest, they just keep doing what they're doing. I mean, they always come up with new ideas, fresh IP. You know, I'm interested to see where Naughty Dog go, and hopefully next year they might tell us if the Uncharted franchise is going to continue or if Uncharted 4 will be the last one. I mean, obviously they won't tell us that next year because they'll be doing a demo of Uncharted 4, but yeah, if they have a new, say they might just say, oh, you know, because I'm pretty certain, I read the other day they're working on another franchise anyway, a new IP, so if we get some information about that, that would be brilliant. And other than that, Yeah, of course, what I want to announce next year is obvious. Quantic Dream, I want to know what David Cage is working on. That's the big one for me, because that would be absolutely fantastic. And if I'm just pissing in the wind, the one thing I would absolutely love to see at E3 2015 would be the announcement of Freedom Fighters 2. I'm just going to bang that drum forever, because I really want that game. It's never going to get made, but you know, if anybody's watching this who develops games, please make Freedom Fighters 2. Cross-platform, exclusive, I don't care. I just want to play the game. Right, and the last question from Shock16 is there a TV show that you think could transition well into a good video game that hasn't already been done? Bloody hell. That's tough. Let me see. I mean, all the different shows I watched. Trying to pick one. I mean, 24's been done exceptionally well on the PS2. That was brilliant. I really like that. Alias was badly done, which made no sense because that is such a rich story that how the hell they got that wrong, I don't understand that one. Yeah, that's bloody annoying, that was actually. Just thinking of all the different shows. I watch so many different shows, and trying to think of one that's actually going to transition well into a video game is quite tough. I mean, you can go the obvious route like Hawaii 5-0 and third-person shooter. That really shouldn't be difficult to get right at all. I absolutely love that show, so that would be really cool. Other than that, you're good at stumping me, Adam. I'll give you that. You always come up with questions that are on the fly are really difficult to answer. You could go back and do Band of Brothers, because I want the World War II shooter, first-person shooter, to be reinvigorated, because Enemy Front just came out and I can't find any reviews of it, and I've looked at some gameplay. It looks okay, it doesn't look brilliant, but yeah, Band of Brothers to refresh the first-person shooter in World War II on the Xbox One and the PS4, that could work really well. That could be well told. It'd be very cinematic in story as well, so I think that would be a really good one. In terms of modern TV, what's on at the moment, Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know anything about Game of Thrones, but from what I've seen, that would work perfectly. It's, you know, Lord of the Rings style, so you can't really go wrong with that. What would I like to see is the question. I mean, I've got so many different bloody shows on the go at the moment, and it's just trying to remember them all, and what, because a lot of them, I don't think they would actually work. It's a bit difficult really to pick one that's going to be successful. Bloody hell, you've got me stumped there, mate. Real good. I don't know. I'm completely flummoxed there. I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, you could always do V, really old show, but I mean the space, you know, the sci-fi aspects, the investigation, that could work quite well. I'm just trying to think of a good one. I'd like to see like a new LA Noire type game. I'm trying to think of a TV show that would actually, that could work really well in. Although you could do The Equalizer, another classic show. They've got a film coming out with Denzel Washington, which I'm really excited about. The TV show is brilliant. I've been rewatching that. That would be quite an interesting one. But yeah, I don't know, mate. That's a really, really hard question. I'd go with Band of Brothers though. That's the main one, because I really want to refresh on World War II. I love World War II first-person shooters, so that could work really, really well. I mean, you could make it third-person actually, but then you're just going down the cover route, and that's probably getting a bit overdone. So first-person would probably be a lot better. Yeah, okay, guys, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for everyone asking me a question. I appreciate it every time you send one. If you have a question from my show, just drop it down in the comments below, and next Friday I'll post a response. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to watch any more videos from me, just click on subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all again soon.